Well, good morning, everyone. Once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Did you have your vitamin C? Your coffee? Good, good. So, Nick, you are first up that I see this morning. Frida, good morning. Our little roll call. Rosa, Mike from Norland, and Rosalinda, Niagara Falls. Good morning to you guys. Kristen, how are you? Nick from our staff. Kevin from Oshawa. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Doris, how are you? Linda from Pennsylvania. Sandra Clark, Aurelia. Anthony, I like your first name, Anthony. Good morning. Micheline. Bonjour, Mary, Fran, Orangeville, Lise. All my faithful followers. Lorraine, good morning. Sunny, British Columbia. Well, it's sunny here in Sudbury this morning. Dave, Kathy, Yolande, bonjour. Lucy, good morning. Jeanette from our staff. Olive. Timmons, right? Helena, Cambridge. Chantal, Ottawa. Bonjour. Barbara. And Brahim, good morning. Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia, having her vitamin C right now. Cecile, Catherine, Luella. Good morning, Suzanne, Edmonton, Ida, and Rosemary, and Deb from Timmins, Patricia, Teresa, Richmond Hill, Brenda, Campbell River, British Columbia, Ken, how are you? Ken and Sally, it looks like, Jeanette, Nellie, good morning. Couple more. We appreciate you guys more than you know. Jan. And Brenda's on her first day of the reset. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Shirley, goodness and mercy. Vanda, P-E-I, Mary, good morning. And Shelley May. Cheryl. You guys are great. You guys are great. I mean it. IT. And Lyle. Roll time. Wendy. Catherine, good morning. Okay, guys. You know what it is today? It's September 1st, so the reset. Many of you are signed up to do the reset. Well, good for you. The metabolic reset. And I want to talk to you this morning. We're going to talk a little bit about metabolic syndrome. There's a couple of stories that came out. Let me just phrase this so that I think you and I get it, but most people don't. It's the most serious. Okay, let me just say this. Metabolic syndrome is the most serious condition that nobody's ever heard about. Are very few. Seriously, guys, I talked to a couple of physicians lately, and their eyes glassed over when I talked to them about metabolic syndrome. They really didn't know what I was talking about. Now, they know symptoms like a high blood pressure, hypertension, but they don't know where that comes from other than salt. No, it's not salt. Okay? Salt doesn't cause high blood pressure. Only could do it in the absence of vitamin W, water. If you don't drink enough water, and you gotta, not from adding Himalayan salt or whatever, but if you have, like if you decide, and when I say you know what I mean by that. Others, not you. You don't do it. Others, when they insist on eating crappy carbs, middle aisles of their grocery stores, fast foods, you know what's happening? They get a lot of salt, but that really isn't salt. Do you know what I mean? And their blood pressure can go up. Yep. If they don't drink enough water. But it is the most common and serious condition known to man. Yep, it is. And 93% went from 88 to 93. So we're not getting the memo. Folks, listen to me. Most people don't understand metabolic syndrome. I'm writing a new book right now, Sun, Steak, and Steel. And I have a chapter. So for those of you who are waiting for a hard copy of the Metabolic Reset, it's coming back in a new form in a new book. Because I got to talk about it. Metabolic syndrome is the most serious and unknown disorder in the world today. Yep, it really is. And 93%, it used to be 88. And what this is, okay, like I've sort of, let me say this. It is a fat storage condition. Metabolic syndrome is a fat storing problem. Now follow this with me here, guys. Metabolic syndrome is a fat storing problem. And the problem is, it stores fat in all the wrong places. Okay? Now let me get that 5 pounds of fat behind me, or maybe the 1 pound. Where did I put it? Okay, there's 5 pounds right there. I'm going to take this out, and I am going to talk to you about it, okay? Because you see this here, okay? This is 5 pounds of fat. For those listening on a podcast, I'm showing a foot long. Would you say 5, maybe, 4 to 5 inches wide. Okay? Friends, this is 5 pounds of fat. Man, it's ugly. But what metabolic syndrome is, okay? Picture this in your head. The way your body operates is when you give your body the wrong fuel to eat. If you're a carboholic, your body has to store, remember, bread turns to sugar rapidly. Therefore, you need a lot of insulin. Therefore, insulin is a storing hormone. It must store sugar. And it stores it in the form of glycogen. Okay? Now, when that is out of control, 93% of the population, hey, listen, I didn't make that up. That statistic doesn't come from me, because even up to a month ago, I was at 88% because of research done in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and here we are in 2022, and they changed it. It's at 22%. Now listen, Linda, listen. Listen. It is the most dangerous, the most unknown. It's a fat storing disorder. Does more than that, but that's what causes it. It's storing fat in all the wrong places. Guys, call me fathead. It's a compliment. You want fat in your brain. You do. You want fat in your eyeballs. You do. You want fat in your skin. You do. You want fat in your joints. You do. What you don't want is fat around your organs. Liver, kidneys, pancreas, your heart, your gut. You don't want that. Because, guys, okay, let me show you. I'm showing you again. Visualize this if you are on the podcast. Okay? Visualize this. 5 pounds of fat, okay? 5 pounds, ugly as sin. Okay? It is. It's ugly. The problem with this fat, when it's in your organs, around your organs, is because this fat creates inflammation. Your body sees this type of fat as a foreign invader. Your immune system actually starts to attack it. That creates a cytokine storm. That's one of the biggest issues. When your liver is full of fat, what happens in the liver does not stay in the liver. Your liver is the most important organ as far, that and your pancreas, as far as metabolic syndrome, because what happens in the liver, the Costco parking lot, will change your blood work. Now follow me here. Okay, you've got it in your mind now. Metabolic syndrome is caused by what? Crappy carbs. And the worst of the crappy carbs is, fill in the blank, guys, and I'll wait to see. I love my students. Okay? And somebody said, "Nice freezing up." Now look, I don't see that on my end, guys. Okay? I'm not seeing that on my end. It sometimes is Facebook. That's their own problem. Jody says sugar. Sandy, sugar. Margie, sugar. Yep. But what sugar? What's the worst sugar? What's the antichrist of sugars? Deanna, yes, fast food. You're right. Brenda, sugar. Yes. Julie, bread. Yeah. Okay. Somebody give me that. What's crappy carby oils? Yes. But it's not exactly what I was looking for. Francis Marie, Brenda, fructose. Annette, you got it. High fructose corn syrup. Gur, you got it. Deanne, got it. Okay? Wendy, you got it. High fructose corn syrup. It is made in a lab. It's made for your car, not for you. It's synthetic. It is fructose, but it's not, It is high fructose corn syrup. Bad, bad, bad. Guys, there's just nothing good about it. There's nothing that high fructose corn syrup helps you with. It only harms because it makes a beeline for your liver, my friend. For your liver. And your liver, when the parking lot is full, the Costco parking lot, okay? That's my illustration. You got a better one? Like somebody said, why do you pick on Costco? Well, because their parking lot is always full. At least it is in Sudbury. Soon as it opens, it's full. And that reminds me of livers that are full of fat because of high fructose corn syrup, my friend. It fills up the liver. The liver, because it gets full of fat, must react to that. What does it do? Now we're going to get into metabolic syndrome, okay? Metabolic syndrome, my friend, is the most dangerous, unknown disorder in the world today. I double down on that. And because it's a food problem, they are liars, liars, pants on fires. The food industry and the pharmaceutical industry run the world. And they're into duping people, fooling you. And what's happened? Imagine, guys, think with me for a minute. 93% of the population suffers from some form of metabolic syndrome. It's a fat storing condition. Bad fat. Storing it. Therefore, okay, let's talk about what happens in the liver. Once the liver is full, kids, your children, your grandchildren, kids, this is such a huge problem. It causes the twin towers of diabetes. Obesity. I was reading yesterday. By the year 2030, in North America, half the population will be obese. Half. In men, it's well over half already. In women, it's getting there. You don't believe me? Go to a mall. Open your eyes. Observe. My friend, if you were born in the 70s or the 60s or the 50s like me, and you were put to sleep, let's say in 1970 or 75 even, you were put to sleep, a deep sleep, and they woke you up in 2022, you, my friend, would be shocked. Just look at the size of people. But you can be skinny as a rake, and I double down on this too. You can be skinny as a rake and be as unhealthy as all can be, because you can have metabolic syndrome too. You just can't see it. If fat is being stored around your organs, your liver, your pancreas, your heart, your kidneys, your gut, you don't even know it, because you can't see it. That doesn't mean you don't have metabolic syndrome. My friend, let me tell you this. When you get metabolic syndrome, you have certain biomarkers. Now we're going to do, Tony Jr. and I talked about this yesterday. We're going to do a webinar very soon. Number one, to celebrate the millionth download that happened in August of the Doctors In podcast. Okay? Number one health podcast in Canada. Wow. So we're going to celebrate that, but we're going to do a webinar. And we're going to do it on blood work. Why do I look at certain things? And we're going to give you numbers, and we're going to look at whatever. But all I'm saying is, let me give you a list of things that if you check off 3 of these, even 2 of them, you got metabolic syndrome. You got high triglycerides, TGs, fat balls, floating through your blood vessels. It's not cholesterol. Fat balls. Dangerous fat balls. And it's always in the presence. Triglycerides are always, don't send me your blood work and then you don't give me your HDL. You might give me or somebody the other day sent me HDL and they total cholesterol and LDL. The only thing I know about LDL, if your LDL is low, you're going to die young. You want to die young? Have low cholesterol, okay? You want high cholesterol. You want low triglycerides, not cholesterol. Don't be duped. Don't be duped. You want low triglycerides. And the way you get low triglycerides is you empty the Costco parking lot. And you empty the Costco parking lot on the reset. Yep. That happens in the first week. You empty the Costco parking lot because you're not eating high fructose corn syrup or crappy carbs that love your liver, and you're not going to drink anything. I read a study the other day, men on men who get ED, erectile dysfunction. And this study shows the direct relationship between how much men drink fructose, soda, any fruit juice. Oh, Dr. Martin, it's Tropicana. I don't care. It's bad for ya. Tropicana, you might as well drink a soda. Tropicana. I don't care. And I mean Got it? Here's the study. Direct proportion for men who love their orange juice in the morning and apple juice or soda. It's only, Doc, it's only 1 soda a day. Ooh. Direct, without passing go to the liver, to the parking lot. A direct study says directly proportional to what they drink. When I see kids going to the mall and going to those juice things And in their brain, this is good for me. I feel like screaming. Hello, John the Baptist in the wilderness. Repent. Turn around. Don't go there. You're drinking stuff that's going to fatten up your liver and cause your triglycerides to go up and your HDL cholesterol to go down. It's a food or drink issue. My friend, that's metabolic syndrome. A1C. Why do I like A1C? Because I can tell you whether you have insulin resistance or not. At 5.4 A1C, you got insulin resistance. Some even say lower than that. I look for that. Elevated A1C. You see, when they talk about metabolic syndrome, they don't use the A1C. They use slightly within normal range, elevated blood sugar. It's normal, but in metabolic syndrome, it's too high. I like A1C for me. Okay? It's not, if you send me your glucose numbers, I'll look at them. But I prefer A1C. It tells me more. And number one, even more than they look at blood sugar, they look at A1. I look at A1C. The other one is high blood pressure. Do you know that 50% of people, and it's even higher than that because 50% of people have high blood pressure. But a lot of people have high blood pressure. They don't even know they have high blood pressure. It's not salt. It's sugar. It's carbs. It's part of metabolic syndrome. Blood pressure goes up. Blood sugar goes up. Triglycerides go up. Cholesterol goes down. Belly fat. That's one of the markers. You can see a skinny person, they got belly fat. It's one of the signs of metabolic syndrome. Go to the mall. Again, with me. Are you there with me yet? Now we're looking. Look at little kids and their bellies. Folks, that's a sugar belly. We used to call them beer bellies in men. They're not beer bellies. They're sugar bellies. Women. Sugar bellies. That dirty rascal. High fructose corn syrup. Here I'm going to say it again. Okay? Because I'm yapping this morning. I'm excited. Because it bugs me so much. The elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. At the root of cancer. At the root of cardiovascular disease. Let's just talk about those two things for a second. Are we getting better? Are we winning the war? We live in a statin nation to lower cholesterol. Statins. Are we winning? Boy, there's more heart disease than ever. There's more cancer than ever. The elephant in the room, my friend. Alzheimer's. You know, a study came out, and I gotta spend a day on this because it's what a study. A1C, 5.5. The brain starts to shrink. Remember about being a fathead. You want your brain to be fat. Specifically with DHA fat. Your brain will shrink. Sugar shrinks the brain, especially the hippocampus. Your memory center. And let me say this. Metabolic syndrome is a factor. It's not maybe the number one factor, but it's a huge factor. Cancer, cardiovascular, Alzheimer's, dementia, obviously diabetes. I mean, the obvious thing is diabetes. But people, don't wait till someone gives you a diagnosis of diabetes. Diabetes is the last thing that happens. It's not the first thing that happens. It's the last thing that happens. Your body is so unbelievably made to tightly control your blood sugars. Why? Because sugar, honey, is bad when it's left in the bloodstream. Insulin is the traffic cop. Sugar, you can't stay there. You're parking in a non-parking zone. You can't park there. Sugar, get out of here. Come here with me. Can't stay in the bloodstream. You're going to destroy blood vessels. Okay, I'm coming. I'm going to park you over here. Oh, you know what? There's no more room in your muscles because you don't have big muscles. See, skinny people? You don't have room in your muscles, sugar. So I guess I better put you in the Costco parking lot. It's full. Well, we'll put more of you in there and we'll stuff you in. And then your triglycerides go up. Can I? Well, it's my show, so I'm going to say it. I was going to ask you permission if I could say it. Can I compliment you for a minute? What I just taught you. Okay, guys? What I just taught you in the last half hour is not taught in medical school. It's just not. It's not taught in medical school. Metabolic syndrome. That's why Dr. McEwen at the University of Tennessee, she likes me to teach her students metabolic syndrome. What is it? What does it mean? How did we get it? And for you today, and whether you do it today, if you're jumping in on our group with Wendy and crew, you have no idea how good that is for you. You have no idea. Because it gets rid of metabolic syndrome. That's why it takes 30 days. Yeah, 6 days you empty the liver, but you got 6 days on the... Oh, I can't sing it. They're muting me anyways, so maybe I should start singing again. No, but folks, listen. What you know is not taught in medical schools. It's not taught to dietitians. And most nutritionists have no clue. Because if they did, they would repent. Always talking in moderation. That moderation comes from the food industry. Moderation. Ooh. You want to know why you're so smart? You listen. To a little practitioner. A little doctor who's got a big mouth. Wow. Let me just say it over again as we close. Metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is the most common, serious condition you've never heard of. Yep. Okay. Now, guys, what's tomorrow? Question and Answer Friday. So with question and answers, it's always a great show, isn't it? Okay? Now, have you joined the private Facebook group? If you haven't, join in. If you want to start the reset today, put your name in there. Tell the others that you're doing it. Today was Pump Your Tires Up Day. Folks, you look, if you want to use it as a weight loss, I highly recommend it. But it's not primarily for weight. A lot of people lose weight. A lot of people don't get hooked up on your scale, because I'm going to tell you one thing. Without exception, you will always, always empty your liver. And if you empty your liver, you're going to save your heart. You're going to save your brain. You're going to lower inflammation in the body. Your A1C is going to come down. Okay. Guys, we love you dearly. Talk to you soon.